move, and then, like we said, they'll move it. They'll get up and go. Bill Evans has no problem from an offensive standpoint after steals or misses.
Idaho State shooting 8 of 14 from the field on the road, Matt. 3 of 5 from 3. They're shooting 57% right now. And they have forced 6 turnovers.
And that's been
Utah.
the key. Yeah, that has been the key. Their zone is really frustrating the Utah offense. And, you know, we talked to Larry Kraskowiak today, and he said the key is, you know, we can't fall in love with the 3, but we've really got to get good ball movement. We've got to get it around, and we saw that last possession forcing it into that high post, and that's exactly what Bill Evans is covering.
10-0 run by Idaho State in the last 1 minute 48 seconds. Out of the corner, Loveridge elevating, and he knocks it down.
You can just see one possession where much more crisp the passing. They side to side, get it going. Didn't even look to the top of the key right there, the high post. Good offensive possession by Utah.
Loveridge had not been shooting well from 3 coming in here, just 25%, but he'll let it go. 35 attempts coming in. Here's Hansen trying to post Taylor, and again they bring help. I mean, somebody's got to be open on the weak side. And guess what? There's Sanchez.
Yeah. And we highlighted him before and talked to him before. I guess he knew that he was going to be on the opening and said, hey, I better step it up.
Taylor looking deep to Lentz. Overplayed. Jeremy Olsen in the lineup now. He's working inside for Lentz. Taylor, matchup zone. They're very aggressive out of the matchup, too. They don't lay back in there. They come at you on the edges, don't they? They pinch and they'll trap a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They start up with the 2 guys up top, kind of in a line there, and then they have heavy ball pressure.
See there, Taylor had 2 guys around him.
And that's too early. I mean, that's off of basically 2 passes under pressure.
Ball comes the other way from the field. And Friday against UC Santa Barbara, the 13.8 assist effort.
No, and that's the number to me that's big for Cobbs. Almost 7 assists, and he's not only scoring, but he's got to get everybody involved. He's definitely the leader of that team.
Sanchez, the 1 dribble take, got the matchup on Lentz and blew by the big guy with the offhand.
Well, that's because Utah has Taylor on Hansen, and so they've got a total mismatch with Sanchez on the other side. He takes advantage just using his quickness getting to the rim.
Well, if you're Utah, how long do you stay with that?
Yeah, it's
a 12-point lead now for the Bengals. Right to Taylor. Utah has settled for 3s. They've shot 7 of them instead of getting inside the 2-point range as they do here, where they've been lights out this year, shooting 62%. That's Ogby.
Oh, yeah, we mentioned it earlier. You're number 1 in the country in 2-point percentage, and you're taking too many 3s. Living off of those. And then that's what Idaho State's doing. They're forcing them or daring them to do it. Utah's kind of playing into their hands.
Sanchez, good-looking young player, running the show up top. Brings Hansen out of the wing, and Taylor with him for 3. That was one of the first poor shots that Idaho State has taken in this game.
Yeah, he lost his dribble. I think he should have just given it up. He said, well, maybe I'll just launch it.
Taylor trapped. Finds Lentz. They reset to Wright, who's been quiet here in the first half. Lentz from the baseline.
I think that's a good point, Kevin, because one of the reasons he's quiet, that zone, you know, can sort of corral. And you think of what Utah is scoring this season. It's called them the running Utes, and they have been, but this zone, and they played against the zone up in Boise. Boise State did the same thing. and they really struggled in the first half of that game.
But, Matt, you know this, and any coach will tell you, here's right outside for three. It's off the mark. You can't run taking the ball out of the net. Utah's shooting 57% right now, so you're not going to beat anybody down the floor unless you defend and get a defensive rebound and get some stops. So we'll see what Idaho State. Fields coming in for Utah. Sanchez is just feeling it right now. He is on fire. 5 for 6. He has a dozen. And Idaho State is shooting 60% on 12 of 20. They lead by 12.
I mean, are you kidding me? He just came off an easy side screen, took one dribble, pops up and knocks it in. Great offense and pretty poor defense by Utah.
Senior from Seattle, Washington. Another one of those players from the 206, Matt. There are a lot of them. There's Taylor outside straightaway. Look at three. That is off. Lentz
a grind of a game, OT game, and I think that's given these guys some confidence.
Bengals on a 19-5 run over the last 6 minutes. Utah's hit just 2 of their last 8 from the field. For Utah, it's about defense. They gamble here and then recover. Hatchet on the wing for the Bengals. Taylor on Sanchez and Van Dyke on Hansen. The defensive switch does very little as Hansen knocks down a rainbow.
Yep, and Van Dyke got caught on one of those screens right at the block. Hansen took advantage, and that was a nice looking stroke from deep. He's their best shooter.
Idaho State now 5 of 8 from 3. Leverage, that was no secret. Utah knew that coming into this game. And they've just not been able to bottle them up, even bother them. 62% shooting for the Bengals. Another turnover. The 8th of the game on the Utes. Here's Tyler with it. Laren has a little one on him. Taylor at 5'11". Nice feed to Taylor. Taken away from behind by Leverage.
There's going to be somebody open. Good cut to the rim.
And the Bengals use a timeout there.
On TV. I mean, we were talking to him. I mean, he seems like one of those coaches that has forgotten more than you and I will ever know. He really has a handle on things, and as you said, coached a long time down in southern Utah.
Says he confers with Boyd Grant, the longtime coach at Fresno State, who is now in retirement in Pocatello, Idaho. Along with Neil McCarthy, who was a longtime coach at Weber State in the 70s and 80s. Boy, an offensive rebound now for the Bengals. Tyler got bumped, no whistle. Ball sails over the head of defenders, and Fields comes down with it for Utah. Here's Wright. Beautiful move to sidestep a man and get to the bucket.
And he loves the long step, the side step, the Euro step, whatever you want to call it. That is one of the things he does so well. And as you said earlier, where was he? They finally got the ball to him in a good position in the corner.
Bengals by 13. Let's see now if the Utes can make a little mini run here under 2 minutes. Hatchet outside, feeling it, floats it, and hits it. And these guys are just in fuego. I mean, they came off the bus shooting it. 13 of 24, 54%.
And it's contagious at this point. You can just see body language of this team, and that's a big three going into halftime. No matter how you get it, Leverage steps up for his squad.
Right on Sanchez. Hansen outside goes to work. That looked good all the way. It's short. Wright will wheel it. Taylor for three. Back-to-back threes by the Utes. And now they've got, well, they seem to have a little swagger back now with a minute remaining in the half. Back within 9. Reminder, the State Farm halftime report coming up. Highlights of basketball tonight. If you missed it, a ski, a Booker, or repeat of that heroic three-point shot to beat Kansas on Saturday. Buffalo's in action on Friday here on the Pac-12 Network. Inside with 10 to shoot. Loveridge gets a block shot. Fields will bring it down on the push. Out ahead to Loveridge. The feed deflected. Taylor ready for it. Wheels it outside. A second differential between game and shot clock. And so Taylor looks back at the bench, and they'll hold here for the last shot.
Now, what a difference. You're down 15, and you come up with 2 threes, and now it entirely changes this first half.
While forcing Utah into 8 turnovers and scoring 9 points off of the Ute turnovers.
Yeah, interested to see just what Utah does the first couple minutes. They had a little momentum leading into that halftime. Let's see if that carries over.
Hatchet outside aggressively to his right. Feeds inside to Solarin. Tough shot over Lentz. And Utah gets a stop. Now let's see if they can run off of it. Wright will forces his.
The new rule, was he on the way up before the Idaho State player got position? Probably a good call.
Pretty close.
Yeah, that was a close one. That new rule came into play, no question.
Hatchet looking to Henson, who's posted on Taylor. Now they bring Lentz to help. Hatchet with the advantage, and from behind on was. Bill Evans, the coach of the Tigers, preseason picked in the Big Sky to finish 10th, was it? Wow.
10th or 11th?
Boy.
Whew.
That's a tough conference.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good squad, well coached. They could be the surprise of the Big Sky.
Yeah.
If they can continue to play this way. Weber State, North Dakota, and Montana picked 1, 2, 3.
Caused the turnover, but I think, he talked, Kevin, about their ability to practice a little more and work on their things instead of working constantly on the next opponent. And you kind of look at this, seems like it helped them a little bit.
Anwaz to the end line. He is shoved and a foul.
Number 5, Jeffrey Sullivan.
Anwaz, a guy they got to get going. I mean, he broke into the starting lineup a couple games ago, has not played well the last 2 games, and really struggled that first half.
Transfer from Navarro Junior College. Loveridge. Tyler wasn't completely vertical, and so when contact is made, you're not going to get a call there. Look at Loveridge's numbers. He's paired off, what did they tell us today, 25 pounds off that body is from last year.
Yeah.
Really trimmed down. As a result, he told Larry Krystowiak it felt like he wasn't carrying that 25-pound weight up and down the floor anymore. He misses the second free throw.
I think interesting about his numbers, he was a 39% three-point shooter last year and has struggled this year from downtown, only 25%, but knocked in a couple the first half and seemed to have the stroke back in order.
Well, they had Tyler open in the paint. They go to Hatchet. He's crowded, triple team. Solarin keeping it alive, Tyler keeping it alive. So they'll get a couple of offensive rebounds, but nothing to show for it. The Bengals give it back to the Utes.
I was wondering, Kevin, with a golfer, sometimes those guys lose a little weight and their swing would go.
Lose a little power, a little distance.
Would Jordan need to gain a couple to get back that jump shot? No.
I don't think so. They're pretty light on his feet. That's a stretch 4, knocking down a three-point shot. Not just one, but he's 3 for 4 out there, and he has 16 points. And now the Utes have awakened.
Well, and it's really been Loveridge. He knocked that big 3 in before halftime. He seems motivated here. The second half, got to the line, and then knocks down another one.
Hatchet comes right back. Tough shot.